just sort of sent ourselves. Right now we know teammates low boost. There's a 50 situation. Okay. Ball's up in the air. Teammates no boost. We're no boost. The other guy just picked up big boost. There's probably another guy behind us with boost. That means there's probably going to be a shot. We got to take in that for information. Teammates going backward. We hope he gets it so we can, you know, decide what to do. Go low. That's fine. Teammates got it. But now our decision to push forward like this. New information. We know that other guy just got boost. We know our teammate's still pretty much out. We know we're low. So that means we've got 2 people from the other team going there versus our teammate with no boost. So by pushing up here, we haven't really processed the information at hand. You're basically almost like disregarded paranoid there as a player. Because like this is super risky, and then you kind of realize it, and, you know. So we could have saved all of that time from you going forward and out, and use that time to get pads, to recover, to build up resources to make a play. So other than information, another thing I would suggest, when you're not entirely sure what's going to happen, don't use movement mechanics, or use the correct movement mechanic. Because by doing that flip, look how far. You jumped there, right? You don't get control back until there. You know, and you're going a pretty low speed. So you're committed that far. So movement mechanics are great when you're 100% sure you want to go that way. So only use those. Yep. That makes sense. So don't use those if there's a 50 incoming. Don't use those if, you know, you don't have that time during that flip. So when you're flipping, you don't want there to be a 50 happening, because a 50 is new information that you can't react to. But if you want to pick up your speed, keep in mind there's another movement mechanic you can use. You can use wave dash. Wave dash front loads that time that you can't do something, as opposed to spreading it out through the entire mechanic. So it's not quite as quick, but it does allow you to speed up while giving you the ability to react. So maybe there's an 80% chance it goes forward, and you've got a little bit of time. So you wave dash, it doesn't work out, you can then turn away. So knowing when to use a movement mechanic and which movement mechanic to use is also important. Because now we're, you know, we did that huge loop, and now we're sort of coming back into it. And then again, the Arita, like, we see there's 2 in the corner, teammate again, out of boost. Chances are this is probably gonna go left, and it's gonna go on the wall. So each time we get here, where do we need to be? When do we need to be there? Teammates on the ball, 2 behind him. How do we best assist him here? Chances are there's going to be a 50. He's either going to take it back to the wall, or he's going to 50 it, so we need to kind of get behind. So, first man, they're the person performing the action. They're the person who is driving the play, or on defense is the one who's pushing, you know, the other team. Second man, they are the assist and the safety. Make sure you're covering both of those. If you cover just the assist, that means you're overcommitting. If you cover just the safety, that means you're giving up goal opportunities. So he brings it back there. So now, new information. How do we process this? Oh, hi, puppy. Puppy hasn't moved in like 4 hours, so I'm just trying to see what she's doing. How am I still on? Well, by still being on. So, we taken in this information. If your teammate's smart, that ball's coming towards you. So we sort of stay out of it. But right now... Yeah. But right now, what's happening is you're pushing up, again, a little bit too quick. You're covering the second man positioning here, but not the third man. So you're coming up like you're going for a pass. However, you're not in a position to be safety. So by just backing up just a little bit, because chances are at this rank, they're going to try and drive solo plays. So, you know, if the teammate's sort of here, you know, being a little bit back, a little bit center, because you're not entirely sure what's going to happen here with two here. So being in a position where we can kind of cover in case things go wrong, but still be able to drive up in case he shoots off a pass to the middle. So, see, he 50s there, but now we're in an awkward spot. Not quite the touch we wanted, but that's okay. See that we got time, so we go steal the big boost. Again, how's he shooting it? Where are the people? Where do we think the ball's going to go? Good, we switch to first man, and then we run that. Perfect. And now you're back, Olive. Welcome back. We appreciate having you. And then we rotate out, get that boost. Check our time. Send it so we have time to recover. You're forcing it a little bit hard here. If you look at this, the ball's coming towards you. The other guy's lost control. Your teammate just sent himself. So this means you're last back, the ball's coming to you, and there's no immediate pressure here. He's still just falling. The other guy, just chilling. You can let this come to you. Just catch, and then you know, send it over that first guy, and then you've got time for your teammate to recover. Horse, nice. Unfortunate clear. So what can we do here differently? Let's take a look. Couple things. This rotation's a little bit weird. You also cut your teammate. Because you're like, oh, he's just not going. He takes a weird sort of deep, but he's planning to go and then he sees you. So taking a slightly wider rotation makes this a lot less awkward for your team. What I mean by slightly wider rotation is literally just grabbing the pads. He's going near. So by literally just meow, that allows him to do his thing, as opposed to him going in, starting, stopping. And if by the time you sort of get there, you know, he's still just like sitting, then send it. But try and give him enough time to do his thing, because in a perfect rotation, people are always moving. Ideally, you don't want anybody to stop, so if you cut near post as he's rotating in and there's not enough space there, you're going to end up sort of like mashing together and needing to stop. So that's why you keep moving through, but he ends up stopping. So by seeing that he's in front, just taking a little bit wider thing to try and time the rotation right. See how that gets awkward? He kills his momentum, and then he's like, oh no, and panic saves, and that's sort of how that ends up being there. The bump. Letting him use boost makes sense at this rank. This just feels so awkward. So I think what happens is you actually end up rotating into where the play's going. And that's why it sort of feels awkward. So I think your teammate sort of kind of had control of what was going on. And then he's like, oh, you're there. I'll just leave it. And then he's like, I guess I'm just going to like chill. And then you didn't get it right. And because you were there, he starts turning away. So let your teammate cook. If he's on it, just go to where you need to be in case it doesn't work out in his favor. So literally just kind of rotate to where he is now. That makes this whole situation a little bit less awkward. And you see how, again, right now, we're so focused on trying to be somewhere that we're not really making a decision. And because we're not really making a decision, we're trying to figure it out as we go. And notice how we're not really replenishing boost here, which makes things more difficult on ourselves. That's fine to go there. Get the force. Teammate goes, that's fine. But now we're just kind of like, oh, nope, can't go. We're on 7 boost. Oh, gotta get boost. Boost. Okay, good. And now we're an entire field away from the play. So this comes back to that Arita. You know, taking in that information and based off of that information, make a decision. Because when I freeze frame and explain it, you're like, oh, that totally makes sense. Like, I knew that. But, you know, when you're in the game, it's really hard to see that in real time. And it does take time to implement this. But it's definitely a good way. You know, where's it going? Where's the play going? Do I need to be there or do I need to not be there? You know, hey, is he going to beat me? If so, don't jump challenge. You know, kind of like that. Oh, he's going to shoot. Go back. Cover. Oh, teammate's rotating back. I'm going to force. Oh, run for it. But that was a good back pass. I do like the way you played this. It didn't connect with the teammate. But, keep in mind also, if you kind of miss this, you can use your second flip to get back to the wall. And then just try and recover that way. And not use all that boost. You're pretty fortunate that you were able to just grab their boost and back pass. I love the back pass. Super smart. But you can just decide not to boost if you've got the time. There, that's the recovery I was just talking about. So you can do it.
Hello there.
Hello there. If he doesn't get like a second touch there, that was almost very risky. Having both of you sort of on their 20-25% of the field. It's super risky. So just, you know, information, then decision. As opposed to, I need boost, where's the biggest big boost? Because you only really need, when you think about it, how many pads do you really need to actually make a play? Like, 3. That was unfortunate. So, you can just grab like 3 pads pretty much anywhere. There's all sorts of paths around. You know, there's you know, this sort of path, which is great for going, you know, there and back, a little bit more pads. If you have less time, straight down the middle. You need to cross the field. There's also these. You know, if you can move around the field via pads, you start to find that all of a sudden, like, you always have enough boost to do something. And suddenly, by getting those pads, you're also stay in the play, and by not taking yourself out of the play, that does is it increases pressure on the other team, which in general leads to your team scoring more, assuming you don't overcommit from it. I was trying to figure out what led to this goal. That's fine. That's fine. Your teammate was in an awkward spot. But they also kind of needed to be there. They should have gone up for a touch here. Like a little bit sooner. Yeah, boom, go. Let you go back. Because, yeah. They need a challenge sooner. Stefano? Dr. Trashbag one? He's the best? And now you sort of got to do something a little risky. And, you know, just like push, which is fine. If you had pushed that just a tad bit sooner. Which is difficult, but plausible. When you're down by 1 with 16 seconds, you kind of have to play best case scenario. You get scored on again, you know, you're gonna just still lose. But if you think there's 50-60% chance your teammate can get this mid, go for the pass. It's risky, but sometimes you gotta play calculated risk. Ooh, unfort. Again, he was further up. It's alright. You played pretty well, though. A couple small things, but like, it was still pretty good. But if you sort of, you know, take into account that the Arita sort of method of rotating, as well as, you know, when you decide to push up, when you decide to go back, when you decide to get pads, when you decide to get big boost. You know, if you think there's a decent probability they're going to send it, it's fine to go back to get big boost, even if they end up controlling it. Yeah. 100% they do. 100%. It's important. So the key to being able to work with somebody is for somebody to understand what action you are going to be most likely performing next. Because if you're completely unsure of what they're going to do next, if they can't predict you, then they don't know how to help you. So some people argue, but hey, that makes me more predictable for the other team, but like, so? Until you get to a much higher level, that doesn't really matter. So this is your teammate's point of view. Right. Exactly. So some of these things you're like, oh. I see you. Oh, never mind. I gotta go somewhere else because he's there. Teammate, unfortunately didn't connect. Shadow. Teammate takes that. That's good. Try and 50. We get that. Try and put it mid. Steal boost. Good pass, teammate. And then we're out. Get boost. Ah, unlucky. We send it. See there how he was able to follow it? Later on, we sort of broke down that moment when you weren't able to. That's how that moment would have ended up had you just left it. And then he goes there, he watches. Long shot. Oh, on port. Grab boost. You go. Tries a steal boost, goes mid, try and... Oh, nope, not safe. 50, on port. Rotate back. Oh, split the wrong way. Tries disruption. Good job. You cut. That makes awkward. But yeah, 100%. Just think about when people do things to you and you're like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know how to react. Same thing. But any questions on how to work on that or what to work on? That's good. So being predictable, yeah. Rule of thumb, if you lose 2 in a row, evaluate what you're doing wrong. Try and figure out why you're losing. If you then lose the next one, take a break. Luck is not on your side. You're about to dive into tilt queuing, something. 3 in a row, you gotta stop for now. You can play a different game mode, switch to casual, switch to training pack, just take 5-10 minutes. Walk away for a little bit. Whatever's going on, it's not working. If you come back, you lose a 4th. You know, for me, I'm done with comp for the day. It's just not working. And that's how I prevent, you know, the massive, like, 300 whatever MMR, like, spiral. Maybe I just go to casual, maybe I work on the skills. Also, watching your replays back to figure out what's going on. Am I really just having bad luck, or am I doing something? What am I doing that's causing this? That's a good thing. That replay is a good thing to do at 2-in-a-row losses to try and figure out what you're doing wrong. But definitely at that C3 level, you want to really start thinking about reviewing your own replays and figuring out how you can improve and what you may be doing wrong. All right. Do we have any other replays from somebody in chat? We got Finn, but other than Finesse, do we got another one? Wait, where's yours? So, oh, 3 weeks ago? Alright. Can you just post it again in the Discord? I'm having trouble finding it. And is 3 weeks ago still a good replay net? Or has enough changed by now then to the point where you're like, I want to put on a different one? Alright, and after that we'll do finesse. C1 in an SSL lobby. So if you try and look at a replay before it fully uploads, it comes up with an amusing screen. C1 in an SSL lobby is always very interesting because they're processing the information at a much faster rate than you can. Or at least that's my experience of it. So they've done, all right, they did DreamHack 2017. They've done some A tier and B tier and placed fairly well. Years active 2015, 18, and 2023 to present. So this is not by any means of the imagination a bad player. This is a good player. They've played in fairly high level tournaments. Wait, is this the G that was hopping in earlier? I don't think so. I don't know. Oh wait, there's two Gs. So you're in a party, they're in a party. You are dark blue. Yeah, that checks out. This is going to be interesting. So you copy it from your replay folder and you send it into Discord. So I'm assuming you're on Epic. You take that text without the quotes in it, and if you put that into like a folder, this address bar up here, and you press enter, that'll bring you to where your replays are. And then you have to match the replay with basically the date modified with the date on the replay to figure out which one's the right one, or you can edit the name in Rocket League of the replay and it'll change the date modified to basically now. And then you take that and you just click and drag it into the Discord in the coaching channel. So just boop, and then you send it there. Perfect.